What's up? This is Andy Francess. I'm going to be taking a quick look at the No House Advantage Thursday Night Pick'em contest where first place nets you $15,000, or I should say $7.5 thousand, because we know I'm going to be taking the other 7.5. So we got the 3-0 Miami Dolphins heading to play the 1-2 Bengals, but the Bengals are favored by 4, and the Bengals are the team that I'm going to be plucking most of my picks from because, in my opinion, going into this game with the uncertainty around Tua, I think we got the most certainty around those Bengals, sort of. If you haven't played any of these contests yet, it's basically fantasy football meets player props in an easy-to-use platform. It shows you a player, it shows you a prop. If you like that one, you choose that one, and the more that you pick correct, for example, T. Higgins receiving yards or T. Higgins receptions, you click it, you click over and under, and as you get each one right, you ascend in the contest and your money starts to grow exponentially. And eventually you can work your way up to the top of that temple or the top of that pyramid where $15K is waiting for you in this particular contest. So if you actually click the link down below in the description, No House Advantage is going to match your first deposit up to $50. So make sure you take advantage of that while you can. So looking at this game, it starts with the quarterbacks, and my first pick starts with the quarterback of the Bengals, at least. And I'm going to go with the Joe Burrow over 1.5 touchdowns. The Bengals, they started to right the ship a little bit. You know, the Jets are the perfect team to do that. But you got to love this scenario. I believe that the Bengals, like you saw towards the end of last season, they're a team that plays up to their competition, and unfortunately, as you've seen in the beginning of this season, plays down to their competition. Well, what gets you up more than a 3-0 team heading into your building for prime time on Thursday night? And these aren't the Andy Dalton primetime Bengals. These ones are going to be more prepared. We know Joe Burrow is how he does in these big games. The last primetime game I remember Tua starting, I think they had to put Ryan Fitzpatrick in the second half or something like that just to come back. So we'll see if that continues. We know Tua's got off to that start regardless of his status for this game. Let's see how that back is doing. But I'm going to take the over 1.5 touchdowns for Joe Burrow in a game like this, where they know what happened to Baltimore a couple of weeks back. So I think they're going to try to put their foot on the gas. He threw a couple touchdowns last week, and let's carry that momentum into this week. And if he's doing that, some of those receivers got to be doing something out there. We saw Boyd and Higgins do great. We saw Jamar Chase struggle a little bit last week. And in general, he hasn't been the Jamar Chase that we all thought. What better way and what better time to show his abilities than prime time with the whole country watching on Amazon Prime? Jamar Chase over receiving yards. It's in the mid-80s, but I'm going to take it because I like his chances in this game, where everyone's talking about the star wide receivers. Everyone's going to be talking about Tyreek Hill and Eli Apple. And speaking of which, I'm going to take the under receptions for Tyreek Hill. I feel way more comfortable with the receptions than I do the yardage, because he's just that type of guy who can take one to the house and then there goes that yardage bet. But when it comes to receptions, we've seen many games over Tyreek Hill's career where all of a sudden it's just one of those 3 or 4 catch games, and for whatever reason, he's not a major part of the offense, or they're paying such close attention to him, he opens everything up underneath for everybody else. So I'm going to take the under on the reception total for Tyreek Hill. And the other quarterback in that game, the guy with the bad back, I'm going to take him to throw an interception. We know he's been doing relatively well these first couple of weeks. He's the talk of the town, the chalk of the town. But I'm going to take him to throw an interception on the road. I like Tua. I can't even pronounce his last name properly. Tua Tagovailoa to throw an interception in this one. And then on his side of the ball, I'm going to take the under on Chase Edmonds rushing yards. I believe it's hovering around 40. The last 2 weeks, we've seen Raheem Mostert actually take more of the running work from him. He's out-carried him in back-to-back games, and I know Chase Edmonds wiggled his way in for some touchdowns, but we're not worried about that. We're just looking at that yardage. So I'm going to take the under on Chase Edmonds yardage total. So those are the 5 that I'm going to give for you on this Thursday night for what should be an entertaining game, compared to the last couple of primetime games, absolutely. But I got the over 1.5 touchdowns for Joe Burrow, the over on receiving yardage for Jamar Chase. I have the Tua interception, the under on Tyreek Hill receptions, and then the under on Chase Edmonds rushing yards. All right, everyone, good luck. I will see you at the top of the standings like always, theoretically. I will be back with you next time. Be sure to toss a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciated by many, but none more than me. I will see you next time before Sunday. Take it easy.